Fwosh getting ready, and the matchup will be...
Oh, Fwosh got her favorite deck.
Yes. Oh, that's a tough match. I play that matchup. That's a tough matchup.
Oh, yeah. So this is how the matchup boils down to, right? The blue-black deck likes to spread the board, cast a lot of creeps, get some damage to the face, and finish off with a big push.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, a lot of the blue-black deck's creeps are relatively weak.
Yep.
Whereas the green-red deck have really beefy creeps.
Absolutely.
As we see here.
And that's the thing, is the deck is so packed with creeps.
Yeah.
That every time that, for example, that Sorlac hand is threatening to hit the tower, nope, there's always something to block it.
Correct. I think in order to beat this red deck, you really hope that your challenger has a lot of these like random divine purpose stuck in the hand, because they don't really do anything for now.
No, yeah, this is not a fantastic hand to begin with.
Yeah.
But like again, at 4 mana, it's not about like those. It's not about the stat line. Like even that Smeevil Blacksmith, it's a fantastic.
Just a blocker.
It's just a blocker, and like if you put the Disciple of Nevermore, that Smeevil Blacksmith actually trade with the Disciple of Nevermore. Stopping the Sorlac hand, as we said before, is really important. And yeah, the plan for the blue-black deck is trying to go as wide as possible.
Yes.
Before that cleave comes into play, before a lot of those scripts come into play, because that's the only way that you have competing. It's a, you know, there's matchups that are favorable to one deck, and there's matchups that are favorable to the other one. And this is a red-green favorable. Are you okay? Are you not dying? You good?
Sorry.
Okay.
Had a little cough there.
Oh, it's okay. We're good. There's a mute button here you can press to. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. We got the technology.
Yeah, look at that. So you can cough. Anyways, that was lane 1, and sorry, turn 1. No money was spent because there were no hero kills.
Which
that's
is pretty
actually
rare, yeah.
Well, it's pretty good for the blue-black deck.
Yeah.
At this point, they don't want to give away gold and like maybe encounter one of those scariest items that you can find, which is that Blade of the Vigil. Normally not a really powerful item, but against this deck, it's like, Cleave is so bad for me. And again, drawing some really expensive cards for the challenger, so he won't be able to do much this turn, but that does mean that when you get to mana 6, you will see that powerful Ogre conscripts show up.
Yeah, although that could be too late at that point. Who knows? This blue-black deck can output a ton of damage. Now, I'm very curious to see if Fwosh is going to use that Frostbite. Technically could save the hero, but if you look over to the middle lane, I think guaranteeing your Sorlac Khan to hit it might be the more important goal for this deck. So we'll see how heads up our champion is.
Yeah, knowing that there's a Crystal Maiden coming in, you're not really concerned about that Jumoi dying, because you will be able to redeploy something there. You will have something to cast. The other option would have been to cast Dimensional Portal.
Yes.
She held on to it.
Might have been played. In fact, she's going to cast Dimensional Portal here, and that will allow Savage Wolf to block and trade with the Lycan if our challenger wants to go for it, or could just actually eat a creep.
Yes, and now here's the trade, Savage Wolf for a Sorlac hand, preventing those 12 damage to the tower, still putting 4. And also, most importantly, you always want to cast a blue spell where that Zeus is in the lane, because especially if he's in front of a melee creep, that 1 damage plus the 3 damage of his attack will make sure that that Zeus actually clears and makes a space in front of him. Heartstopper Aura coming for Necrophos. This is a good time to play it. You could have played the Oglodi Vandal here as well, but with the lane going pretty much his way, he doesn't feel the need to, and that Heartstopper Aura, while a useless spell in terms of direct impact, it really pays off long time the earlier you play it.
What a great pickup here for a challenger. Teleport Skrill. And it's a good pickup in this case because if you look over to the first lane, it's very likely that tower will die either this turn or the following turn. So once that hero, or once that tower is dead, you want to really evacuate these heroes here because they don't really do anything in that lane anymore.
Yep, Fwosh kind of reading the battlefield and saying, you know what, I could put that Crystal Maiden there, but there's nothing really fantastic that I can do. That Frostbite is not going to help me. Maybe it's going to give me 1 extra turn. I'd rather put the pressure in the other lane, just abandon that lane forever, make sure that that Ancient is probably not going to fall down, but at the same time trying to get a foothold on that third lane where she really needs to apply some pressure if she wants to win this game.
Salamene Favor is going to come down, which perfectly you could play it from the first lane to your second and third, evacuate one of these heroes. Probably you evacuate the green one, right? Because Axe is still punching for 7. No, she does none of that. Gets the tower kill.
Yeah, that's preserving initiative, I suppose.
Yes. And with initiative, she can Play a Nether Ward here to start pressuring the tower as well. I gotta say, Nether Ward against a 30 HP opponent, pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's here goes 10% of your damage of your health.
So it does seem like Steffi does not realize you can cast improvements from one lane to the next. This is one of the most common mistakes I've seen, which can't really blame the new players. They're just getting the game for the first day. Yeah,
gotta see those little arrows next to the mana cost, the left, right arrow, telling you you can actually play this spell in whichever lane you want.
Okay.
Like Better Late Than Never, for example, where that allows her to play a creep into that lane. And because that Crystal Maiden is alive, she still gets a freebie and a little bit more mana to cast some spells. However, I don't think you want to spend that Frostbite right now.
Well, it might be tempting, right? If you could Frostbite the Lycan down to 1 health, the Static Shock just cleans it out.
That is true.
But the
Not
face
anymore.
boots is going to come down, so scratch that plan.
Yeah, your window of opportunity in some of these games is pretty short.
Yes.
You know, and one of the things that we haven't talked about that match, because you are always seeing both players' cards. If you are playing yourself, you will see item cards differently.
Yes.
They will have a different color. So at any point in the game, you can see how many of the cards in your opponent's hand are normal cards and how many of them are item cards. And this is really important because that combined to like looking and following how much gold the opponent spent, you can have a somewhat general idea of what they're buying. And maybe say like, well, I can actually save my spell because he doesn't have a heal item or an accessory item.
Sure. And let me go further in explaining the color. So all of these cards would have a gold border when you're playing and seeing the opponent's hand. Now, equipable items, they're more gold than the other one, whereas the consumable items are a lighter hue.
No, that's not true.
That's not true?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're just lying.
I'm just lying, all right? Why don't you correct me then?
No, they're all the same hue.
They're all the same hue?
Yeah, they're all the same back.
Am I colorblind?
You might be, I'm sorry.
I swear they look different.
I mean, that might be a bug. Who knows?
Okay, who knows?
But,
like some of the items look more gold than the other to me.
remember, there's shadows in the game and dynamic lights, and like sometimes light impacts the thing.
Let's just say it's shadows.
Yes.
So this is actually looking pretty good here for Fwosh because these heroes are stranded. 2 heroes stranded on the left side, no hero available on the last lane. And it looks like that is going to be the game plan here for Fwosh. She's going to push the tower and look to get 80. That is going to be her win condition.
Yep, and with that as well, there's a TP scroll in the challenger's hand.
Okay.
Steffi could be able to like maybe take that axe away.
Yes.
Put him somewhere else. There's the Ogre Conscript cam online right now, so there we go. Yeah, TP scroll out and maybe use that Celebene's favor in the next lane if she realizes. And with 8 mana both in the second and the third lane, she could start doing some real harm.
Okay, Celebene's favor not being cast. And both the blue heroes are dying. Fwosh needs to definitely keep one of these blue heroes alive. A Frostbite.
There's a Frostbite, yeah, on the Legion Commander. Not only the good thing about disabling the Legion Commander is not only does it prevent the damage from potential combat, but also essentially removes the threat of the dual card.
And Berserker's Call.
And Berserker's Call.
Yeah. A very important Frostbite.
So when you're thinking like, well, which one is the best one to save? In this case, 100% use it on the red hero to disable those spells.
Yeah, Fwosh is not done just yet. Strafing Run now removes all of the creeps, so potential damage coming out is lackluster. And she still has battlefield control if she feels that she needs to redirect a little bit of damage.
Yeah, at this point, do you ever move that Lycan to your tower to prevent damage on Zeus? I say no.
Maybe.
You can also move it to the Jemui.
Yes. Nether Ward's going to come down, so there's still the Keenfold Musket that could be equipped, although that might go to the final lane. And of course, the armor might come down and protect Yamoy or Zeus.
We'll see what happens with that. And is there any point to keep initiative? I was going to ask if there's any point to keep initiative, but I don't think there is. You want to probably cast some spells in that lane 3 already anyways. So, and there's no heroes. Yep. Lane 3 for Steffi, our challenger. So just might as well, you know, use that Keenfold Musket.
Although the Keenfold Musket does represent 2 more damage on the right side.
Shoot him.
I really like this choice here. She's purposely putting that Lycan below 4.
Yes.
Thunder God in hand, and she's looking to clean out a bunch of heroes next turn, hopefully with double Thunder God.
We'll see that. I mean, there's a grazing shot, potentially not really doing much of anything. Battlefield control could add 2 more damage to the tower, but the lethal is there already.
Yeah, power's gonna pop.
Untested Grunt is something that you could do, but again,
I'm surprised that she didn't cast Untested Grunt there. Because both her black heroes are locked in that position anyways, so the Grunt couldn't have gone anywhere else.
yeah, maybe she's hoping for a TP scroll or something like that, but no, she's absolutely committed.
Yeah.
And now, because of that TP scroll on the axe gets to be deployed wherever she wants. And you know, our challenger again, kind of undervaluing the possibility of that throne kill.
Yes.
In the right lane, committing the axe, which is a really powerful hero that you probably want to go into your more.
Has not committed fully yet.
Well, it looks like she will be.
Okay, she has now fully committed. Now, with that said, I do believe Steffi still has 2 turns left in this game.
Yes, and she's also putting some amount of pressure in that first lane. Which
Yes.
Right now it's not much, but if she draws a couple of Thunder Heights Alpha, for example, that could change.
So now the win condition becomes, for Steffi, she needs to win this middle lane in 2 turns.
Yes.
Definitely doable when you have 4 heroes in this lane. Unfortunately, no Berserker's Call, no duel, so not any really huge impact cards coming out.
Here's the scary thing, like she might be thinking, well, I have these divine purposes and might want to cast them, but instead of choosing to keep initiative,
Yes.
that is really valuable, because right now, if she hadn't, the Thunder God's Wrath could have come and, for example, removed the threat of that Lycan,
Yeah.
and removing all the potential green cards from her hand.
Divine Purpose is going to go on the Legion Commander, but it's really Lycan. That's, I think, the most important unit currently on this board. Thunder God almost guaranteed to come down here.
We'll see. Yeah, there we go.
Thunder God. Because don't forget that Crystal Maiden on the final lane could continue to Thunder God away, and that will also take down Pugna. Well, Pugna's going to die anyways.
Yes.
Just to the Zeus.
With not much to do right now because there's no green hero. There can be a Fountain Flash to get that Pugna healthy back again. Jamui the Wise draws some card, and with that battlefield control, both those battlefield controls can make sure that Zeus actually persists in his lane.
Or Yamoi persists, either way.
Jamui, yeah. I think you probably want to keep the Zeus and maybe equip that Traveler's Cloak.
I'm ready to serve.
But yeah, again, like no matter what happens, I believe that 3 of the 4 units in Fwosh's side will die. That's setting open for a really powerful next turn.
Yeah.
And we talked about how there's it's a 2-turn clock for our challenger Steffi to win this game, and looks to be pretty underway. Oh, and don't forget that.
Yeah, she's taking damage as she's casting these spells thanks to that Nether Ward as well. So it is going to be Yomoi staying alive.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like with the Nether Ward here, you kind of don't want Zeus to stay in this lane because you don't get much value from their passive as you would normally do.
So I do believe Fwosh is, like, she's forced into casting Thunder God at this point. No, now she cast the Grunt.
This is my moment.
That not casting the Grunt last turn might have cost her quite a
she
bit.
could have cast the Thunder Gods and then the Grunt because
Crystal Maiden could actually refresh that mana. You're absolutely right.
I think it's going to be a grazing. It's going to be a grazing shot. You kind of want as much damage as you can, and grazing shot might be tempting in this situation.
Yeah, grazing shot gets 2 more damage. Yeah, you might as well graze, right? Like, what else are you grazing? Or you could frostbite technically, but you want to stay frostbite mid.
Frostbite for mid,
yeah,
for sure. And I'm not sure if this is a 2-turn clock. She has to deal 47 next turn, and she might not have that.
She has a lot of things like Assault Ladder that she hasn't drawn yet,
right?
As well as Disciple of Nevermore. I think where I'm looking at is the fact that she's taking a ton of damage on the mid lane for Fwosh. She also does not have initiative. And of course, speaking of not drawing cards, we haven't seen Challenger draw Duel, Berserker Call. All of these cards will immediately just end the game, in my opinion.
Yep. Another Ward is not it. Poised to Strike, getting the game close, but probably not enough. Again, not much pressure from the Challenger side here. And Fwosh just sits there. She can use the Potion of Knowledge. You know, one of the things about items is that you do not require a hero to cast the item. Now,
that is
naturally,
correct.
a lot of the items are equipment which you equip on a hero. So indirectly, you have to have a hero there. But items like Potions of Knowledge are things that you can play if you're not interested in initiative or you don't have initiative already.
Yep.
Might as well just play that, get it out of the way, get the extra card.
All right, here comes that initiative for Steffi. A lot of great cards to cast. I mean, starting off with the Nether Ward is just not bad. Now, any card that Fwosh casts will deal her 6.
But she is not doing lethal damage again. It's only
Correct.
13 damage put to the tower, and there's no duel, there's no Berserker Skull, there's no way to deal with that. And yeah, going for the second Nether Ward is pretty impressive, but also puts, with the Zeus coming back, it puts Fwosh in a position where she doesn't really need to use her Frostbite even. She knows that if there was some duel, if there was some Berserker Skull, it would have been cost already.
Correct.
Because there's nothing. She's like, I'm okay with this. Zeus, I'm going to put back in this lane next turn. And now there's a little bit more pressure, but we might be able to navigate it. Now it's becoming more scary with that broadsword on the axe, where now she can think, well, maybe the Frostbite, maybe the battlefield control even.
Yeah, battlefield control is actually looking pretty good. You point everything towards this 2/4 creep. That's going to die anyways. But
you're only preventing 5 damage.
Correct, because you're taking 6 from the Nether Ward.
Still 5 damage is 5 damage, and when you only have 30 health, it matters a lot.
And looking at the final lane here, still short a bit. We didn't see any of those assault ladders. We didn't see any of the 21 still alive.
Still alive.
And now casting these frostbites or battlefield controls becoming more and more tempting simply because you're preventing a lot of damage now.
Yeah, I really like the idea of just like playing the leather armor, letting Steffi just spend their mana.
Yep.
And understanding to see if there is an even larger threat that you might want to avoid. And now she can actually, spend the battlefield control.
Yes.
To remove, that's, now it's 9 of damage, right? From the axe. And then if she wants to, remove 1 more damage with the frostbite, if she so desires.
So, I'm trying to see a line how Fwosh could actually win this game, which it's becoming almost impossible.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
So Thunder Ghost Wrath actually doesn't remove damage, but it kills the Pugna.
Well, I don't think there's a point to Thunder God here, because you could Thunder God from the final lane.
Well, you can Thunder God from here and the final lane and kill the axe as well.
You could Thunder God from here and then the first lane.
That is also true.
That's also true, right? Like,
but then you have no blockers.
Yeah, so it just comes down to where Karen or Fwosh deems it the most. Where's the Thunder God coming from is the ultimate question here. Now, I want to iterate that had Fwosh drawn any of her 6 copies of Disciple of Nevermore or Assault Ladder, she wins here.
Yes.
Unfortunately, she did not draw it, and that's how card games work.
Yes. Is there a grazing shot somewhere that is attempting to target?
No, everybody has armor up the wazoo. It's tough.
Yes. Oof. That's so close, and the game is getting really intense. We're getting into that. What's going to be the last turn?
Yes.
No matter what.
One way or the other. And I caught your something that you said earlier. Oh, 2 creeps coming in. That's huge.
Oh yeah, and the Zeus.
Cheering for that. Will Zeus come into the middle lane, or will Zeus come into the first lanes and cast Thunder God? I think Zeus just has to be a body here.
Yes.
And just hope for the arrows and get the big block.
Yeah, it's going to not only hope for the arrows, hope for no draws on that duel. Berserker Skull is another out.
Straight arrow.
And it's on the
it's on the creep.
It's on the creep.
But of course, in the hand, we know Ogre Conscript is there to finish things off, and of course, even Savage Wolf. There's more than enough mana to cast all of these creeps.
And a lot of health on the Lycan as well.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy to remove that with the Thunder Ghost Wrath. You might be able to get rid of the axe, but with the Legion Commander there's no way for Fwosh to stop neither green nor red spells from coming into this lane.
Yeah. And Steffi doesn't even need to cast anything. I think Lethal is already on board.
Yes, and because of the 3 health.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing that you can do. You can't cast any spells.
Yep. Netherward again pressuring the 30 HP towers.
Yes.
I kind of did wish Fwosh went out by killing herself.
By killing herself.
with the frostbites. But
yeah, and now she's clapping. She's giving the good game. Steffi is still pretty intense.
she wants to do as much damage as possible.
I guess,
respect the
yeah.
hustle. We could actually get some good team play here. If she casts Netherward,
Yes.
and then Fwosh casts a spell, that will actually do the most damage.
Yeah, there's another one.
All right.
Fwosh, do it.
The
Do
team
it,
play-
do it, do
the
it, do
team
it,
play
do
back.
it.
Hey, there you go. Great team play from our 2 players up on the stage. And zap, zap, zap.
Ow, 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 ow.
And Fwosh will
And
win that
that's
one.
it. Our champion, Fwosh, is defeated by our challenger, Steffi. Give it a round of applause, guys.